mind won't shut the fuck up. It is always telling me how awful I am, how fat I am, how unworthy I am, and I fucking have enough. The best part is, I don't actually have to listen to this mean voice inside my head anymore. But now comes the hard part, cleaning up all of its mess and getting rid of every single fucked up word it has ever spoken to me. This is my therapy, my way of healing, and sharing all that I have learned over the last few years. So enjoy my fucked up thoughts. So here I am again, another do-over, another beginning, another start of something. Life keeps doing this to me, or should I say for me. You've probably heard the saying by now, life happens for you, not to you. And I always had the belief that life, or really some perverse entity, enjoyed fucking me up. It got pleasure out of watching me suffer. Then one day, I realised that it wasn't life doing that to me. It was me doing that to me. And in the last few years since that realisation, things have changed inside of me like I never believed possible. I have to admit though, I sometimes miss being ignorant about all of it. I wish I didn't know what I know now. I would like to remain oblivious so that I can continue on with my shitty life without knowing how much better it can actually be. And I say that because the darkness within is still a quite prominent force. Its shadow steps into the light that I've been working so hard to illuminate, and it just sometimes dims almost every ray. And it's fucking hard. It's hard work to keep on changing all of the fucked up and shitty things about yourself. It's just so much easier to remain as is, to just keep going as you are, even though you can't stand how things are. So here I am again, about to embark on this column and podcast, it is both, about my fucked up mind and what it has done to me over the last 4 decades, and what it still continues to do to me. It's every day I wake up and it's still there, belittling me, berating me, annoying me, yelling at me, giving me reason after reason as to why I can never, ever be truly happy with who I am. But, thankfully, I have learned a few tricks over the last couple of years, and one of them is this: shut the fuck up. I scream this at my mind when it is really just giving me a hard time, when its relentlessness it's worn me down, when I can no longer take the torture of its mean and nasty words. Because I do not have to listen to a word it says. My mind is wrong most of the time, if not all the time. It doesn't want me to succeed or feel good. It wants me to stay put in the misery and pain I have wallowed in for most of my life. But I just can't anymore. Though I know what it is like on the other side of pain. I have felt good. I have felt happiness. I have felt joy. My mind keeps on taking all of these things away from me. You know, like a parent takes away a child's favourite toy when they've been naughty, except I haven't been naughty. I have been getting myself into a good feeling state, sometimes even a great feeling state. Sometimes I just can't get it to last. I have gone back into the darkness ever so slightly, but this time it feels different. When I allow it to feel different, when I allow it to be what it actually is, and not listen to the fucked up bullshit that my mind keeps repeating to me. I have heard the same nasty words every day for the past fucking 40 years. I have believed those spiteful words, those cruel words, as if they are the only truth that ever was. And the voice has held me back in so many ways. I have felt insignificant and lacking because of the lies it keeps telling me. I have lived my life attached to a very short string of cruel and awful words, never permitting myself to grasp any further than my reach would allow. But what is the truth? What direction do I point my focus to see the truth of who I am? My compass is it's not been able to settle on a direction my entire life. The needle has spun out of control and bounced from one direction to another, leaving me feeling doubtful about where I belong and why I'm even here. The one thing that is giving me the focus I need right now is writing. It feels very weird to be doing this, to be putting my most inner thoughts out for the world to read and to hear. However, the timing is perfect. Everything has aligned. All of the pain and all of the misery, as well as the fun and the intermittent happiness I have experienced, are now my points of reference. The focus I need to silence my inner critic and tell it to fuck off, because I deserve every bit of happiness I have been denying myself all this time, due to me listening to the one and only voice that I've put my trust in. We all have more than one voice inside of us. I call my other voice my loving voice. She is my true guidance, my North Star, the one who knows why I am here, the one who settles the needle and points it in the right direction, the one who has led me to writing the column and the podcast. Against my will, mind you, and I say that because I've been down this road before. I've started this exact same thing a few times under many names, which basically just sums up my whole life. But they never felt entirely right. But there was a truth to them, a sense of something that needed to be done. It just wasn't the right time, or that it needed to be. Sometimes we have to start something to know it isn't right. Sometimes we have to have many different versions before the right one lights up. Who knows what will become of this, but if I don't do it, then I am doing myself a disservice. I am ignoring my loving voice, the one who actually wants me to do things that make me happy. Writing makes me happy. Doing this podcast makes me happy. It always has. And I lost sight of that, and I didn't write for about 20 years. My teenage years were spent trying to write the perfect teenage romance novel where, girl meets boy and they fall in love and they deal with all the trials and tribulations of being a teenager, and then they live happily ever after in their perfect lives in their perfect bodies. I never quite finished writing any of them, and I also wrote a few depressing poems, but I couldn't stick with anything because of how I felt about myself. That voice in my head was on high volume. It was all I could hear. So here I am again, hoping you find some comfort in these words, knowing you are not alone in your fucked upness, and that you do not have to listen to that screaming voice inside your head anymore, that you can turn down the volume so you can hear the voice you're meant to listen to. Your own loving voice. She is there waiting to be heard. Life is experience. Life is painful. Life is fucked up. But in all of that, there are lessons. There are teachers. There are reminders of what we truly are. And this column and the podcast, there will be all of that. In my experiences and my fucked up history, I will share with you the lessons that I have learned, the teachings I have been taught, and the subtle and not so subtle reminders of where I have come from and why I am here. You too. The stories I share will be different to yours. They will be the same as yours. They will encompass so much emotion, and they will turn your focus to a new existence, a reality you may not have considered before, a truth you can vaguely feel, but you aren't fully aware of yet. So here I am, a teacher, a reminder, a truth teller of her own words. You may not agree with everything I say, and that's okay. I only want this to expand your awareness of who you are and what is going on inside your own head. I actually have no idea where this is going to lead, what it is fully going to be. I only know I am going to do it. So let's just see where this takes us. So with everyone, I want to give you a little exercise to do, something to help you listen to the woman within, learn who you truly are, and love every single part of yourself again. Simple. Start listening to your thoughts. Become more aware of what is going around and around and around inside your mind. How does it make you feel? What would you like your mind to say to you? Write it down. Talk it over with your partner, closest friend. Talk about it with yourself. Open up the lines of communication between you and your mind. Be honest about what you really want to hear. I reckon you are not the only one with so many fucked up thoughts. Thank you for listening, and in the meantime, keep on shouting, shut the fuck up. Until next time.